Good morning, hello. Oh wait, that's the wrong screen. We're on here today. Happy Friday, everyone. It's always nice when it's the end of the week. Oh, and hello, Zilby. He's barely able to be seeable. You wanna come up here? Zilby, come on. He's sitting on my lap now, which he rarely does when I'm sitting down. If he's held, he usually likes me to be standing up, walking around. Okay, you're done with that? All right. So last night I was unfortunately unable to work on this project. I had some other things I needed to take care of. So because of that, that's what we're going to be doing today. Because I realized that this is going to be pretty important for us to have in place when we begin the course proper. So the idea here is I have all these data dash attributes on HTML tags. Let's take a look at a couple of them. So if we find something like home.view, here's one of them right here. So on the form select tag, which is a custom component, we have data-test-filter. But what this means in the tests themselves is we can just do a get. Let's do data-test-filter. For this specific one here, I can do data-test as filter, but then I have to do a space select to get to the actual real select box HTML-wise, because all I've got is the wrapper. However, for some of the other ones, I can use this function that I created, data-get, which just looks for this task link, which is also in home. Is that true? We have task title. Oh no, that's going to be in the... Oh no, yeah, it is going to be here somewhere. Here it is, data-test-task link. So unfortunately, that means we have inconsistent data-test. And so I'm thinking that I want to go with the data-test equals and then some value. And that will make these here a lot more consistent. I'll be able to use this data get every single time. So I suppose the first thing that we can do, I might want to create another function for this so I could just switch over slowly one test at a time. And in Cypress, the way we do that is in support, there's these commands, and this is where I'm adding them. So here's my data get is just literally just this. So I'm going to do another one of these. Let's see, what do I want to call this? I could do data test or custom get. I want to leave this one working for right now. I can do... I can't do get because there's already a site at get. So I really want like a custom get or I guess I can't do dget maybe. We're gonna take in this selector. And then we're going to return site.get data.test equals, and then the selector. Now, right away, I should be able to use this with some of these. So, for example, these data test filters, I should be able to select all of you. Okay, so we're going to cut you out, and we're going to do .dget filter. Everything should still work for this. Let's go ahead and run these tests. Oh, you opened up down there. Okay. And you opened up down there. Oh, we only have an only on that one? Okay, this was... Let's go find the only. Okay, so that failed. Timed out. Let's see it. Try to find the element data-test equals filter, but could never find it. Okay. Oh, you know why? Because we don't have that one. Right. So if we take a look at our home, here's our filter by, and we have this data test filter. So I think what I want to do is data test equals filter. So this is going to be passed in as a property. So then in form select, we're gonna have to take this. Oh, look right here. Data test is a string. Data test. Okay, I already have that. And I believe that's going to be the pattern we're going to use in the future too. Oh, this long one, which waits 31 seconds. Oh, I love it. Okay, but everything else is looking good. So that tells me we can just start actually just refactoring these. Okay. All right, so let's go back into our tests and let's just start. I want to start everything unfolded. Okay, so we start with this data test logo. We only have one of them. So I want this to now be I'm just going to do a dget, pass it in logo. And actually, I wonder, this might make sense for me to do just a mass change, have everything break, and then we just fix it slowly. Maybe? That could be overwhelming. So if I have this dget like this, or sorry, if I have this get, oh, but not all of them are one. Some of them are two. Oh, but the data test should be consistent. So I want you to become a dget. You start like that. We remove the first two plus that thing. That's the end. Oh, but look at that. The dget that we had previous, not all of them were. Oh, the dgets that we had already. Yeah, why doesn't that one have a... Okay, hold on. Oh, because this was incorrect. It should have a closing bracket on it. It doesn't. Well, that's not fun. Hold on, let me see if I can find... Let's fix this first. So I want you... That might have been them all. I'm kind of surprised those tests worked. Okay, I'm happy with this so far. Let's move forward. All right, we'll just do one test at a time. We'll do here a dget, get the logo, get that. Okay. Should probably throw an only on here. Can't find the logo. This is in navbar. So we have this router link 2, that's where our logo is, so we're just going to switch you to that. All right, first one down. All right, next one. We should be able to create an account. We actually have a special thing for creating an account now, so I think we could just test that. So should be able to create an account with username and password, not that. Then we should, okay, get okay, then you should get the create account. That button should no longer exist. We should get the login button, and that no longer should exist. And we should be able to get welcome, and that should contain welcome and then our username, and our URL should not contain create account. Okay. All right, so welcome. I believe that's in navbar too. Right here, so this is now I wonder, can I just switch you all over at the same time? I want anything that's data test dash. Ooh, can't do that. It's not always one word. Ooh, okay, that's gonna be tough. I'll have to fix this. So, for example, you here, there. All right, highlight all of these. So you're all good. You're all good now. Coding Garden fan, hello. I am doing good, thank you. Okay, so if I do that, I want to run you, and you should be fine. I'm doing good. Yeah, it's nice to be a Friday. I'm gonna head into the office today to sort of like hang out with some of the others. They do pitch days with some of the product team. It's always nice to sort of meet outside of engineering. And then you know, all the normal stuff you can take care of while in the office. How are you doing? So so we got this one taken care of. All right, 2 describes down. And I did take care of, yeah, all, okay, everything is a dget. All right, so, doing good. Ah, that's great to hear. So we're gonna create an account. I don't need to visit. Oh, visit / will make it so I log into account. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I want anything that's this dot get right now. We're gonna convert you to a dget. There are no other types of gets here. Okay, so this is the login page. We need to fix these. So everywhere we have these data test dash. This one should actually be easy. Okay, and passed. And no other types of dget. Okay, let's go back to this. You're good. Right. Okay, so we create an account. We have all of these gets. Nope, don't go outside of that. Whoop. Okay, so we do a dget. Remove you, so you're just getting this task link, which I think we already updated as part of. No, that was a filter. And that should be this one. So here it cannot find that task link. That's here in home. Another easy one to fix because that's in this slot. Our form select here, I noticed there is a data test there, so we're just going to fix that really quickly. Form checkbox. This is going to be interesting. I think we're going to have to end up doing the same thing with that. Oh, and you may already have that set up. All right, let's try this one. You're passing. Okay, next up, task details. So we have these .gets, no other types. Okay, this one can't find the title. That's in the task page. So this one right here. Okay, perfect. Testing complete now. There's another one in here. And there is a data get. Oh, there's actually several data gets. We're going to want to change those too. Okay, so first, switch you over to dgets. Okay, get rid of you, and now where's our first data get? Right there. And so I want to convert these also over to dgets. Oh, and this thing? Okay, so these are broken and they're probably going to yell at me because they're malformed. So for you, I want this on the actual select. Okay, the first thing here, get data test equals completed. Oh, look, it's double quoted. This one has a space in it. Okay, so it couldn't, oh, more double quoted completed. Okay, it has username. Okay, for this one, it wants the actual input field to have that. So we're gonna go over to form input. And here we're gonna have our data test equals data test, and have that come in here. And that's on the login page. Okay, so now we're on to the next thing. Editing title. So now we're trying to get this thing. And I believe that's on task. Maddie Two Shoes, hello. You never thought you'd see someone talking about data attributes on Twitch? It is interesting. On Twitch, you don't see too many times we go like testing or best practices or stuff like that because we just want to go fast. And who cares if it works, right? But this is for our course, so I do want it to have like a best practice, at least a little bit. And I am passionate about testing and production. Kind of important if you want to know things are working. Okay, so for these form inputs, we want to switch this from these data tests to data test. I use data attributes very strongly for capturing behavioral data on the web. Oh, they're also very good for that. Yeah. Like they're good for all sorts of interesting stuff. So I'm using them here as like labels for selectors to basically be able to make it so that the Cypress tests don't need to actually know what the layout really is. So when we rebuild this in Rust, it doesn't have to follow the layout 100%. Cypress isn't aware of like the CSS, the wrappers, the structure. All it knows is that there should be something that has that test attribute and that you should be able to do something to it. It's more akin to like, well, functional programming with like contracts. Okay, so what's next? We have this data test editing title that we tried to get, and that didn't work. What were you trying to get? Probably, get data test okay, so it clicked on that button, it came here, it tried to get this thing, editing title, form input. Didn't we do that? Form input now has this data test. You go in there. You shouldn't need to be that should not need to be bound. Let's go double check that that's what I expect it to be. So when I come in here, click edit task. Here's this input and I see data test. Hold on. In the input itself, I want you to be data dash test, data test. There, that's a lot better. That's smart, then you can just let it run. Yeah, it's it also means that if you refactor for like rearranging things on a page and moving them around, it doesn't break all of the tests, which I think is really important. Because I think that's a reason why a lot of people don't do those front-end tests. Okay, data test username. So this is trying to get, it's trying to get this dash, but I think have we already fixed this? Maybe. Probably not. Let's see. Username, this is on the login. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so form input, data test, username. Oh, it tried to do the get with that old one. Ah, that's my problem. I'm doing it only here. Okay, so where do I have a username? I was gonna sneeze there for a second. Okay. Oh, we have this login here. Okay, so we need to go fix in the commands login. So instead of data get, we're gonna use dget. And I think that will be better. All right, passing test. Okay, next up. Should be deletable. Okay, so I want everything that's like these gets. And these are all data gets. Okay. Yeah, and that just works. All right, next up. Should be able to cancel editing without saving. Looks like it's just all data gets. There's nothing strange. And working. And that's this describe down. Okay, next up. We have a mixture of data gets and gets. The data gets are going to be like that, and then the normal gets. Oh, that one's outside. There's only one normal get here. And this is what I'm trying to prevent by switching over to like this specific one, is they can all be consistent, whereas before they were not being consistent at all. Do you want to move login, create account process to before each hook? I could do it before each on that too. That might be a good idea as well. Let's see, because as long as it doesn't refresh the screen, which I don't think it would, that might be a good idea, because then I only have to do it once. Let's finish this over, and then we can see about that. Also, hello, Codziak. Okay, could not find the title in an add task. Okay, this is a form input, which means we've already fixed this. So switch data test equal to title. There's also this data there's also this data test on the form button. So I kind of want to fix this too. Okay, so that means form text area and form button we need to fix. You'd also suggest more into commands. Yeah, I've had a couple of those. I need to go a lot more. I have a login and I have create account, and I have this dget as well. But even more of them would be better. So let's see. What I really want to be able to do, and this might be like a future thing, is refactor into a Cucumber and then use that language to basically like spread out the testing and make each like test that we're doing super small. And there's some really cool stuff you can do with Cucumber and Cypress. Okay, so that's this one done. I also want to take a look at Cucumber Rust, because apparently there's a Cucumber Rust version. Cucumber is good for business, but you totally can't recommend mixing it with code. My plan, I've been slowly introducing like more testing and more of the stuff to work. My plan is to eventually get Gherkin in there, and then teach/brainwash the product people into writing Gherkin tests for us, because then that's actually going to be what they really want. So like, okay, I want this. Well, write it in this specific way, because we're engineers. We don't think very well. Sort of like trick that a little bit in there. Okay, just some data gets. So we're gonna switch over to this, and I may have done those already. Okay, perfect. And this describe is done. Next up. It's tricky, but you agree it's worth having a business take a look at. Exactly. Because like, if we're building this thing, if we're building the project, it needs to be tightly integrated with the understanding of the rest of the organization. Otherwise like you get that game of telephone that happens where we build something, they told us what they thought they wanted. They don't know what they want really. And then it's just sort of like this slow, there's lots of waste in the process. Feelings get hurt. It's not great. Okay, so these ones have normal gets. Right, so these ones are going to be the interesting ones, because these ones I had to do because I had to do like the space to get to the input. So the reason why I'm switching over to this other one. I want it to just get to completed on the input itself. You're probably going to yell at me because you can't find the stuff, are you? Oh no, I fixed it all, so now it's good. Oh yeah, I need to make sure that I'm using the latest version of Node that works with AWS, which is 14. And it's not yelling at me about it being old, so I'm thinking maybe before Node 14 is before the version of Cypress that likes that. Also, it shows my habits are pretty old these days, aren't? I probably should switch that over and figure out what the new ones are. And all I'm doing them for is to wait. I'm not actually intercepting and like doing anything with it. I'm just using that. Where's my weight? Right here. Also, why are you not tabbed correctly? Okay, so first of all, data get, okay, you become dget, everything else should be the same. Then we have normal gets. You become dgets, and we're gonna take out this entire thing. And so this is where, okay, I don't know if I have it on the select. You can use intercept exactly the same way, just, oh, okay. Yeah, it's working right now, and the course that we're doing isn't actually going to be how to use Cypress properly, so I'm not super worried about that. It's more of just run this, and it will, oh wait, I forgot to put the only on. Well, fine. Where are we on this one? This is homepage. Okay, the one that broke. All right, so data test, add task. Oh, another command that I have that I forgot about. Okay, so we have this create task. You need to do that. One is it's better to have tests instead of not to have tests. I mostly agree with that, but there's a pretty big caveat, which is if your tests are really bad and that they don't actually test anything like any logic, or they don't like test the real workflows, and they're just sort of like fake tests, then it's probably better to not have tests, and then you don't delude yourself into thinking, oh, maybe everything's fine. Okay, homepage is still, I forgot to do that again. Back to tests, you're getting your only. Okay, what happened? Okay, so it tried to do a data test sort. So try to get this sort here. And it couldn't find it. Okay, perfect. So in our homepage, we have this sort up here. So here's our data test. Is not bound. Equals to sort. That's a form select. Oh, that might have done it. Wait, did I not do... Save. Need to save the file for it to remember that I put an only on it. Okay, and now this test is done. Don't have to wait forever for that. Okay, next one in here. Should allow users to filter out the tasks. Okay, so we have some normal gets. Actually, this is the only one left in the file. Okay. We have some normal dgets we've done. Okay, so data gets. And I think that's it for this complicated one. There we go. And that's it for the describe. Oh, we're so close to being done. Okay. The error message, my favorite test, because I have a 31-second wait in there. Which I should really use an environment variable for testing purposes to set that the timeout in like the view code to like 10 seconds. Okay, so want to do an only. dget, okay, got all that stuff. That should be fine. Okay, couldn't find that element. What element was that? Data test error. That's in app. Oh, and that's just a normal div, so easy. So yeah, it does two things here, our tests. It goes and loads something up while not logged in, so we don't get, it's unable to actually receive, any of the tasks, and so it tells us we must be logged in. It then waits for 30 seconds later, that entire thing, the error message fades out. I've never really had a good idea of like what I should have for those timeouts, those fade outs. I always feel that the error messages that I get from other sites are too slow. I want them to stay up long enough for me to actually notice them, because sometimes they're gone really quickly. Then it disappears. Okay, everything's fine again. So we have successfully moved all of our gets into the correct places. Now, first do okay, everything is just a modified. No. Okay, so I want we are put the data dash tests on the elements that matter. Okay, the other thing that we can do with our tests is we could lean into those commands a little bit more. Also, we could delete some of those commands because we don't need them anymore. So we're using the dget now instead of this data get. So I'm just going to get rid of data get. If we get an error because it doesn't exist, then we should probably know about that. Also, I should double check with just run all the tests, make sure they're all running. I'll let that run in the background. Okay, so this one, just go and check to see that the home screen has that logo on it, and that when we click it, it takes us to, well, the home screen. So that's fine. This is interesting because that is not necessarily going to be the URL that we have access to. I think I should really do this as should not contain. And then we're going to not contain this create account. Okay, creating an account. Also, how did you do? This is still running. Create an account. I'm just actually going to run create account with this one. And that is fine. Oh, come on. What? Okay, there you go. Then, okay, so we create account, then we make sure that the buttons for create account, so we can't navigate back to the create account page, don't exist. The login doesn't exist. The welcome doesn't exist. Well, the welcome does exist now, and it contains our username. It also shows that we have navigated away from create account. So that should be fine. Logging into account. I actually have a login. So first we're going to create account. Then I think we're just going to do a login. Then we're going to check the URL. Hey, we're no longer on login. We can get the welcome and it should show us that. Okay, default items. So this is where we can do some before eaches. And I can never remember. I think that if I do a before each here, it now applies to everything down below it. I think, but I might be wrong. So if I do a before each, I can do a string with this, I believe. So we're going to be creating account. You need to have before each inside describe. So this is inside a describe. It's just after a couple other describes that I don't need that to be, well, in there. So I think it's after these other describes, but it's still in a describe. So I don't know if it's going to be moved up. If you do like that, before each will only be fired for the whole describe. Not for these ones. Okay, so I have to have this. Okay, that's too bad. So we're going to put them inside of here. So before each. This is going to be create account. Now, I need the username and login. Not always. Like for this one, I don't. So I'm just going to move you up here. Do a create account, username, password. And now in here, I don't need to do that. Now, I could potentially also move a bunch of these inside of here too. I was sort of using it to describe as like labels. Because otherwise, let's see. Like here's a bunch of ifs. So throw you in there. Now, don't need that. Don't need that. This one, I need to go back into a login in the middle of the test. So I need access to the username and password. So we're going to do we're going to assign them here, create the account. Now the username and password exists here. So down here, now this one, we're doing this entire visit login. We're going to switch back to login. And another login. Oh, but I'm actually using the login one there. Oh, it's lovely. And then this one, tab. This one is going to be fine on its own. Just remove you and move you. Homeless, hello. Is the course online? I haven't made it yet. So this is the sort of like the preparation work. It's gonna be on YouTube. I don't have like a place to put it yet. That is eventually gonna happen though. Maybe for like the next one after that. Okay, so task details. Okay, wait. We already did this one. Okay, creating a task. Throw you in here. Now this means you two can go away. Create account like that. I don't have like another username or password, but I want to say that I have a create task, don't I? I do have a create task where I can pass in the title, description, and priority that I want to set for it. So we're going to come back to our tests. So title, description, priority, submit, and click. Okay, so we're going to do, oh, what did I call it? Create task. Okay, so we have title, description, and priority. Danny, hello! Okay. So when I was teaching, it was sort of like more an adult situation. I didn't teach like kids or even like college classes. It was just like post adulthood classes. And we joked as teachers, like, so if the students are 15 minutes late, does that mean we don't have to show up to work now? And then yell at the students because they're late. But that was a fun little thing we would tell each other every once in a while whenever everybody didn't show up. Yes, a lot of Cypress. Cypress gets so wordy so quickly. It's like interesting how many lines you can just barf onto a page really fast. Okay, so we create the thing there. Okay, so then this should be fine. This is also an it on the same level, so we don't need to have you. Okay, this is just canceling a task while in the middle. Seems monotonous. Yes, I would say that writing tests can be pretty monotonous, but once you have them, you generally shouldn't need to constantly tweak them. It's just like once you have them and they're good, you should be good to go. Why are you? Okay, thank you. And then the other thing is that once you have them, it allows you to refactor with confidence. So if something breaks, you're gonna know it, and it's not gonna be one of those, oh, your users tell you, because they're the ones who find all the bugs in production. Especially if it's a and like testing may not find bugs, but it might. It forces you to really like look through everything you're doing, so you might find some bugs that way. The bigger ones is regression bugs. You do not want your users to find regressions. They already found them once. You don't want them to find them the second time. Okay, so we don't need them to create the account. So I want to wait until the get tasks. Wait a second. What's going on here? Okay, so mark task is completed. Okay, so I'll wait until we get the get tasks, and then I find the completed one and I mark it as completed. Oh, it should not be checked. Okay, then I get that again. Oh, and I think we learned that we can do an and here. So it should not be checked. And click it. Oh, wait, no, that's like another should, isn't it? That's not. I don't think this is going to work. Let's try it. Then we log in and then make sure that it's still checked. Assignment to undeclared username. Oh, correct. You need to have. I must have copied that from the previous one where I didn't have that. Username is not defined. Well, that... Okay, fine. How am I doing this one? This was... Mark the task as complete. So you... So in this one, I actually do want to do this pattern. Request failed. Wait, did it try to do 2 create accounts in a row? It did. I don't need to do another create account right away. Okay, there it goes. So it looks like that worked. Okay, so I can do a shoulds. I remember back in the old days of Cypress, like I couldn't do like a click after a should because it sort of lost what it was working on. So that's not great. But this is nice. Okay, so I'll just use this pattern. See, should not be able to see anything. Don't need to log in. You do, and I don't need to. Checking to see if I need to log in any of these. I do not. Okay, so that should be good for those. And then you don't need anything. So we'll just run through and make sure all of these tests pass. Oh, okay. That failed. Okay, timed out after trying, so I wait after waiting for 500 milliseconds. For the route, create a count. No over request occurred. This was inside of should allow the user to sort the tasks. So I'm waiting for this create account, but it happened in the before each. So if I want to wait for something, I need to wait for something else. I wonder, let me try just deleting this, see what happens. Yeah, okay, that's fine now. All right, and everything is passing. So the very last thing, oh, let me commit this first. Okay, so this is, let's see. Creating account, in a before each. To clean up tests. The potential last thing to look at here would be those servers. How many of them am I actually using? So dot server. I'm using one, and so okay, you were saying that intercept is the new way to do this. So this is Cypress JS. Let's go to the documentation. I'll go find intercept. Okay, spy and stub. I just want to, I guess, spy. Okay, so it's site.intercept. Wait, is it exactly the same as route, except you don't need the server anymore? So I can get rid of the server, and I can do that intercept this thing as get tasks, and then wait for that to happen. Should probably have that only that. I think we've already gotten past that, so I think it worked. Yeah, I think that worked just fine. So thank you so much for that information. I'm gonna try to remember that for the next time I'm working on Cypress too. And that's our time for today, and that's pretty much like the refactored of the test. So I'm a lot more confident that now when we go into the course and we rebuild things in Yew.rs, the test should just work. And not only are they just going to work, we can change it doesn't matter if you wrap them in divs or if you like have 2 or 3 levels below them. The rules should be put the data-test onto the actual element that, well, is being tested. So like if you have an input, you put it onto the input itself. It doesn't matter how many layers it's wrapped inside, just put it on the input. Which is going to be a lot easier for anybody to sort of wrap their head around, like, what are these tests doing? And they're going to be a little bit less frustrating from the user's perspective. Well, from the programmer's perspective, which is important because in my experience, if tests become something that just frustrates you, the tests are going to be turned off, and then they're not going to do any good whatsoever. So they should really be something that you write once. You maybe every once in a while go and you like tweak them, but then they should just fade away into existence and just be that nice green check mark that lets you know that things are okay. And when they're red, it should be because something's really wrong with the code, not the test. Okay, well, I have that all down there. It is Friday, which means that Sunday is going to be a longer stream, and it's going to be the beginning of us actually doing this all code stuff. So we're going to start recording course videos on Sunday. So I'll be there starting, usually it's between 8 and 9. It sort of like depends upon when I wake up. I usually let myself sleep in a little bit early, but we go longer until around midday Mountain Time. So with that, I hope that you all have a great rest of your Friday, a great weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.